Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel The Serpent Studio. And today, yes, we are diving into the battlefield with none other than Rambo 8, the final chapter. That's right, John Rambo is back and somehow he's angrier, stronger, and more unstoppable than ever. If you are a fan of gritty action, nostalgia comebacks, and a whole lot of don't mess with me vibes, then stick around because we have got a wild ride ahead. This review is completely spoiler free for you guys, obviously, so don't you worry, I'm not giving away any twist or surprises. Let's gear up and get into it. So, before we get into Rambo 8 especially, let's take a moment to respect the legacy. The first Rambo movie dropped in 1982 and blew audience away with its raw portrayal of a Vietnam veteran paused to the edge. Over the decades, we have seen Rambo go from survivalist in the woods to jungle warriors to desert soldier and even home fort defender. But now, Rambo 8 takes the legend even further. We are talking new locations, new threats, and new scars both physically and emotionally. And we know what somehow it works like it really works. What's fascinating about this movie is how it balances the weight of Rambo's past with a complete new threat. You can tell the filmmakers respected the old films but wanted to push the story into dangerous modern territory. And yes, and now let's talk about the plot. So, the story kicks off with Rambo living in isolation again. No surprise here, but this time he is somewhere remote. Think Siberian tundra meets abandoned mining village. He's got the same haunted energy, and I have seen too much look in his eyes. But then the peace is shattered. He gets dragged into a situation involving a convict global paramilitary operation. It's not just some local gang this time, it's a full blown elite strike force doing dirty work from shadow governments. And of course, they mess with the wrong guy, obviously. The movie does a solid job laying out the stakes without overwhelming you with political jargon. It's straightforward enough to follow but layered enough to keep you thinking. You are you are never confused but you will redefined integrated. Let's just say if you thought Rambo was intense in the jungles of Vietnam or the films of villages of Burma, wait until you see what he does in a frozen wasteland against high tech machineries. Okay, now let's talk about the man himself, Sylvester Stallone, the legend, the machine, the walking embodiment of action cinema. At this point, Stallone is Rambo. He doesn't even need to act. It's just a raw extension of who he is really. But here's what surprises me. He goes deeper in this one. There is more emotion, more reflection, and more subtlety than in some of the previous films. Yeah, the action is brutal, but the performance, it's layered. Stallone brings the same grave violence, voiced intensity, But there are moments where you will genuinely feel his pain as he gets older. Whether he's staring at a whole dog tag, listening to a radio signal, or silently carving a weapon, you feel the years on this man. But you respect it. He is not playing young, he is not pretending that he has aged. He uses his age as part of his character's strength. That's something fabulous we can expect from Rambo. Alright, now let's talk about the real reason we all are here, the action. And let me tell you, Rambo 8 does not disappoint in the terms of action. From hand to hand combat to guerrilla warfare, explosive traps, snowy ambushes, and one jaw dropping set piece involving a collapsing mountain base. Yes, this movie goes quite the hard. Its old school brutality meets modern cinematography. No shaky cam, no over edited nonsense. You feel every punch, every stab, every boom. And yes, there's a standout sequence about halfway through that had me gripping my seat at the over edge. Rambo basically goes full survival mode in enemy territory, turning the entire environment into a weapon. You will find yourself going, how did he even think of doing that? It's creative, savage, and genius at the same time. But what's so cool that don't try to make him a superhero. He blends, he limps, he gets winded. The realism is still there and it makes the action feel way more personal and earned. So, visually, this movie is quite stunning. The cinematography captures the isolation, the intensity, and the coldness of territorian beautifully. The use of wide shots and drone views gives it an epic feel, while the close up shots keep the tension intimate. The snowy environment adds a new aesthetic we haven't seen in previous Rambo films. Blood on Snow, yeah, it hits different. The contract is quite the powerful. And let's not forget the soundtrack. The classic Rambo theme is back, a remixed version and reimagined for a darker, colder tone. It's subtle at first, but when it kicks in during key scenes, absolute chills. Literally, the scores does a great job balancing silence, ambition, tension, and explosive energy. That's quite the blast. So, now let's head to the final thought. At the end of the day, Rambo is more than just another sequel. It's a reminder of what action movies can to be, used to be, and what they can be again. Brutal, grounded, emotionally driven, and character first. Stallone proves once again why John Rambo is one of the most iconic characters in film history. This might be his last ride, or maybe not, but if it is, it's one hell of farewell for our dear John Rambo. The action is intense, the emotion is real, and the pacing never lets up. Whether you are a long time fan or a brand new to the franchise, this one it's worth the ticket. So, let's break it down. Action 10 out of 10, story 8 out of 10, performances 9 out of 10, visual and music 9 out of 10. Overall a solid 9 out of 10. This is Rambo at his rawest and realest. And if you love explosive action, a powerful lead, and a little dose of old school soul, Rambo 8 delivers. Alright, folks, That's it for today's review. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more action packed reviews, and let me know in the comments what's your favorite Rambo moment of all time. So, until the next time, stay strong, stay sharp, and remember one thing: live for nothing, live for nothing, or die for something. Catch you in the next one. So, until then, take care and bye bye.